What if the entire human workforce was about to become optional? That's not a movie plot. Elon Musk is building a literal robot army to make it happen. He has a plan to build millions of humanoid robots, and his target price is somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000. Even at that price, he thinks the demand will be nearly infinite. That insane sounding sub $20,000 or even $10,000 price tag you may have heard is a long-term dream, not the goal for right now. This is way past science fiction. Musk predicts a future with universal high income, not basic, where AI has eliminated scarcity. He says the only real question left will be, does your life have meaning? This is the unbelievable timeline for how Musk's robot army could change the world, and it's starting a lot sooner than you think. So why build a robot army in the first place? Because every single day, millions of people do jobs that are boring, repetitive, and sometimes just plain dangerous. Picture the factory worker doing the same exact movement thousands of times a day, or the warehouse worker walking for miles on concrete floors. This is the problem Elon Musk wants to solve, not with another clunky machine, but with something completely revolutionary. The solution first appeared on stage in 2021, and honestly, everyone laughed. It was literally a guy in a robot suit. But with Elon Musk, today's joke is often tomorrow's revolution. Just a year later, a real prototype walked on stage. And by the end of 2023, the Gen 2 robot was doing squats, delicately handling an egg, and even folding laundry in demos. While these were controlled demonstrations, the speed of improvement was shocking. Some called it the ChatGPT moment for robotics, where a sudden leap in capability catches everyone off guard. The secret is the brain. Optimus is powered by the same AI that Tesla developed for its full self-driving cars. It uses cameras and neural nets to see and understand the world just like we do. This means it doesn't need to be programmed for every single task. It can learn just by watching a human do something. It can watch a video and try to copy the action. This shared AI brain enables something called fleet learning. Every task one Optimus performs anywhere in the world makes the entire fleet smarter. The data gets uploaded, the network improves, and the new skills are downloaded to all of them. That is how you build an army that gets smarter every single day. So how do you go from a few cool prototypes to an army that changes the world? It all comes down to two things: cost and scale. First, cost. The goal is to get the price of a robot down to between $20,000 and $30,000. To give you some perspective, a competing robot from a company like Boston Dynamics can cost over $150,000. Of course, those competitors actually have products on the market, whereas Optimus is not yet commercially available. Second, scale. This is where the numbers get absolutely insane. Musk isn't talking about a market for millions of robots. He's talking about billions. He believes Optimus will become Tesla's most important product, worth more than the entire car business. But let's get real with the timeline. This is where we have to look at the facts. Initial plans have definitely been adjusted. Recent reports suggest that production has been slow, reaching only the low hundreds, and has even been paused for redesigns to solve technical issues. The goal of having a few thousand robots working inside Tesla by the end of 2025 now seems unlikely. The year 2026 is now the target for when production might really start to ramp up. Musk's wild ambition of one day producing 1 million units a year is just that, for now. An ambition, not a reality. The vision is to get to a point where the robots are building more robots, creating an insane exponential growth curve. If Tesla gets anywhere close to that kind of scale, the shockwave to the job market will be enormous. The first jobs to go will be exactly the ones Optimus was designed for: manufacturing and logistics. We're already seeing Optimus prototypes being trained for tasks in Tesla factories, like sorting battery cells. Imagine rows of them on an assembly line, passing parts, checking quality, and boxing up products. In a warehouse, they could be walking the aisles, picking your orders and loading them onto trucks. The math is brutal. A human factory worker might cost a company $50,000 a year for one 8-hour shift. A robot, even one that costs between $50,000 and $70,000 upfront, could theoretically work around the clock. But, and this is a big but, its actual productivity and reliability in the real world are still completely unproven. If it works though, the payback for a company would be incredibly fast. This lines up with what experts are already predicting. The McKinsey Global Institute estimated that up to 800 million global jobs could be lost to all kinds of automation by 2030. It's critical to remember, this is for automation in general, not just from humanoid robots. No one knows the exact date robots like Optimus will be a major part of that number, but we know the direction things are heading. This all leads to the biggest question. What happens to us? What happens to society when millions of people's jobs just disappear? Elon Musk paints a picture of a utopia he calls an age of abundance. In this future, robots and AI do all the work, making goods and services so cheap that nobody has to worry about having enough. He and others have said that something like a universal basic income, UBI, would be necessary. But he takes it even further, suggesting a universal high income. The idea is that everyone gets paid from the massive wealth created by the robot economy, freeing us all up to be creative, travel, or just follow our passions. But there's a much darker possibility. What happens to the millions of people who feel like they've been made obsolete? Musk himself admits this is a problem, asking, if a computer and a robot can do everything better than you, does your life have meaning? For so many, a job is more than a paycheck. It's about purpose and identity. Losing that could lead to massive social unrest and an existential crisis. The truth is, nobody knows which way this will go. Past tech revolutions created new jobs. The Industrial Revolution created factory work, and the Computer Revolution created IT jobs. But it's not clear what new jobs a robot revolution creates, especially when the robots are designed to learn any job. The idea behind this technology is moving faster than anyone could have imagined. We went from a guy dancing in a robot suit to a learning, walking robot in just a couple of years. The next few are going to be even crazier. What job do you think will be the very first to be completely taken over by a robot like Optimus? Tell us in the comments. Ultimately, the story of Optimus is about way more than a robot. It's about changing the fundamental meaning of work. Musk is forcing a conversation that most of the world isn't ready to have. A low-cost, mass-produced humanoid robot isn't a question of if anymore, but when. The challenges are still massive, technically, financially, and legally. But the goal is clear. We are standing at a crossroads, looking at two completely different futures, one of unbelievable freedom and another of mass displacement and chaos. The future we get will be the one we choose to build. To stay on top of this and other world-changing tech, make sure you subscribe. You won't want to miss what's coming next.